8 Filipino players are set to show their basketball wares in Japan. These players are those who belong to the best professional and amateur crop the country currently has. They may have different motivations playing there, but all of them are expected to give more than 100% of what they got as they pursue basketball glory for their teams as well as for themselves. What do the teams expect from our countrymen? And in what ways they could contribute to the success of their teams? Konnichiwa, sports fans, and this is Chip of Game High, and we're going to tackle a short history of Japan's affair with basketball, the 8 players slated to be in Japan, their upsides and how they can contribute to the success of their teams, and expectations from their respective teams as well as in the league in general. Before that, give us a cool thumbs up, share this video, and of course subscribe, as well as hit that notification button. Basketball may not be as famous as baseball or other major sports they have there, but the Japanese affair with basketball actually started way back in the pre-World War II days. And since 1967, the Japanese Basketball Association has been in charge of running basketball leagues throughout Japan. That country is one of our competitors for basketball glory. And as the sport increased in popularity, money went into basketball leagues, of which the Japan B League eventually became the most prominent. Demand for players also increased, and as the Japan B League expanded and loosened its rules for the acquisition of foreign players, a window of opportunity was opened for us Filipinos to play in that side of the Far East. 8 Filipino players have been officially tapped to play in the league as of the first week of September 2021. These players are 30 Raveena, his brother Kiefer, and the 3 former UP Fighting Maroons, namely brothers Juan and Javi Gomez del Llano and Kovi Paras. Also slated to play are Kemart Carino, former PBA standout Ray Parks, and just recently, Gilas standout Dwight Ramos. They will bring to Japan various sets of talents and basketball abilities to be utilized by their teams as they battle for basketball supremacy in the land of the rising sun. 30 Raveena started the trend of surprisingly taking the road less traveled by announcing his departure to the Japan B League earlier this year. So far, he has not been a disappointment, as he has already shown what he can bring to the league. His speed, athleticism, and an array of basketball moves delighted Japanese fans, especially those who cheer for the San-en Neo Phoenix, and to the dismay of the PBA. He put up decent numbers of 9.1 points, almost 4 rebounds, and 2 assists per game. The great thing about 30 is that he can bring so much more to the table. Hampered by injuries last season, he did not yet have that breakout performance everybody was hoping for. But now that he is completely healthy, 30 hopes to bring his A game to the fore. Neo San Phoenix sported 12 wins and 47 losses, and 30 hopes that with him fully healed, he can help his team back into contention. 30's older brother, Kiefer, also decided to go to Japan and pursue a career as an import. Kiefer going to Japan is subject to the condition that he will return to the PBA after fulfilling his duties there. Kiefer will play for the Shiga Lake Stars, who had a 23-36 win-loss record last season, not enough to even grab a playoff seat. This time, the Lake Stars will have a player who is probably less athletic than 30, but has the range, ball handling skills, and playmaking ability. He will most likely share playmaking duties with Teppei Kashiwagura and Rion Shibuta. Unlike the two, however, Kiefer is a consistent scorer and is capable of scoring big time on any given night. This must be the main reason why the Shiga Lake Stars decided to hire his services. Juan Gomez del Llano is a versatile playmaker who has decent shooting and great rebounding skills for a guard. He was already in the radar of some Japanese teams, but his performance in Gilas probably convinced the Earth Friends Tokyo Z, a Japanese B-League Division II team, to gamble on him. The team just won 13 out of their 59 games. They are hoping that with Juan on the lineup, they'd have added firepower and his athleticism will make the team more competitive in the guard spot. Like his older brother, Javi is slated to play in the Japan B-League Division II for the Ibaraki Robots. Unlike Juan and others, however, his team made the playoffs this past season, sporting a 41-win, 18-loss record. The team also has capable scorers like Mark Tasolini, Chahale Stapscott, and Kohei Fukuzawa, who averaged 19, 17, and 14 points respectively. Atsunobu Hirao also averaged 14 points for the team. As the Robots front a great starting 5, the team does not have a deep roster. Javi will probably come off the bench and will provide a needed bench scoring for the team, something which he has provided before to the UP Fighting Maroons. This former Sanbeda Red Lion will join Aomori Watts in the Japan B-League Division 2. He will join a team that was dead last in the league by putting up 7 wins out of their 59 games. The team, however, does not lack scoring and has much height and ceiling. At 6'9", he will probably play as a reliever to either Josh Crawford, Kyle Barone, or Stephen Hurt. All of them are at least 6'10" bigs. This top prospect surprised everybody when he decided to go abroad instead of entering the PBA draft or serving his remaining eligibility at UP. We already heard whispers that he might play in Japan, something which was confirmed when Niigata Albirex BB announced on September 5 that he will play for them. Everybody knows what Kobe will bring to the team. A high-flying athletic forward who can bring down the ball, has the ability to pass, and has a decent outside shot. They expect him to immediately make an impact, especially since the team has only won 16 out of their 54 games. They have ceiling and depth at the guard spots, but not that deep in the wingman position. Kobe may just be the perfect swing Niigata actually needs. He can provide the spark and does have the athleticism and slashing moves. He can defend others in the same position, for he has speed and power at the small forward and big guard positions. But aside from talent, fans can expect highlight plays from the young baller. A great dunker, he will surely electrify not only the fans of Niigata, but also the whole of the Japan B-League as well. Ray has finally ended the guessing game after striking a deal with Nagoya Diamond Dolphins. The Dolphins do have a balanced attack, but with Jeff Iris set to join Kobe Paras at Niigata Albirex, there is a need for the team to have additional scoring and firepower. That's where Ray comes in. An explosive scorer with great outside touch and remarkable athleticism, he can surely provide the additional scoring needed by the Diamond Dolphins to maintain their status as one of the stronger teams in the league. In parts, Nagoya will have a top caliber player that can take over a game when needed and when he wants to. If Parks can provide big time scoring on a consistent basis, the way he does in the PBA, it could make the Dolphins a high scoring team and could propel them at the top of the standings. He made his preseason debut last September 11th, and from all indications, he is good as advertised, scoring 12 points on a perfect shooting clip in just 17 minutes of action. The ultimate shocker for Filipino basketball fans came from Dwight Ramos. Dwight was scheduled to play for Ateneo and just waiting for the UAAP season to open. However, the Japan B-League beat them to the draw and he was snatched by the professional league from the collegiate ranks in no time. Dwight said that the opportunity to play in Japan is just too good to pass, especially with the way the country has been developing players and becoming a wonderful stage for international players to showcase their talent. He is slated to play for the Toyama Grouses, which sported a 39-21 win-loss record last season and is considered as one of the top teams. Dwight is one prized catch that his versatility and perimeter play will certainly boost the chances of the Grouses to make it to the top. Those 8 players need to deliver on what is expected of them. They need to give their best and they need to compete at the highest level. Japanese players are no pushovers and other imports are at par with the world's best. Jeff Iris, for instance, is a legitimate NBA player, while third-year Raveena has already battled against former Meralco import and international journeyman Alan Durham. So to be hired as imports is a recognition that Filipinos can compete at the highest level, and could serve as legitimate reinforcement to foreign teams in search of basketball glory. The Raveena siblings, Deliano brothers, Carino, Aras, Bars Jr., and Dwight Ramos could be considered trailblazers. The future of the migration of Filipino basketball players to Japan will ultimately depend on their performance. If they made a good account of themselves, it will validate the status of the Philippines as a great source of basketball talent. We can expect the trend of migrating players to continue, not just to Japan, but perhaps to other countries as well, where there is tougher competition. Paving the way could surely benefit and inspire other Filipino basketball players to go beyond the archipelago and showcase their talent to the world. Limiting them to our local leagues could stunt their growth and hamper the development of Philippine basketball. But that is another story altogether. Let's hear it from you, Hoop fans. Does the decision to play abroad with others that may soon follow something we should frown upon or be happy with? What do you think is the effect to the Philippine basketball landscape? Comment below and let's discuss. Also, check out our Facebook and Instagram pages, our website www.gamehigh.ph, and our podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Until the next one, guys, stay safe and we'll see you around.